in Taxi Life, a city driving simulator, you are put in a position where you play as a taxi driver and you have to complete jobs around the city. But there's a lot more to it than that, so let's talk about my experience of this game by starting off with the driving itself. The game starts off with a tutorial section that teaches you how to drive. It is basically a driving lesson for anyone that doesn't know how to drive, and for anyone that does, it teaches you the controls of the game. In this tutorial, you will learn how to move your car, go forwards and backwards and turn, use your indicators and everything you would need to be able to drive throughout the city. You can use a first person view from inside the taxi if you want to, or you can go third person. You also have the ability to control everything within the car as you would a real car. This means that not only can you use the indicators, but you can also use things like your lights and your windscreen wipers by using the controls that you would normally use in a car. This means that you do have a button that you can press for the rear view camera, which you do have in the car, so when it comes to reversing and you're in first person view, you can use this camera. My first impression of this game when it comes to the controls of the car is that everything is very much accurate to how a real car works. They did an impeccable job of creating an experience where you feel like you're actually driving a car, apart from maybe using a keyboard and mouse or a controller depending on what you're using. This would be a perfect game to be able to play with a steering wheel, but you would lack the actual physical controls of an actual car. But this is basically the same as driving a car. Also, instead of having to just look and click on the controls like the windows and stuff like that, you do have the ability to bring up a menu that allows you to select the controls in the car, and it slows down time when you do it. So if you're not able to multitask by putting a window down while trying not to crash into a car in front of you, because you have to actively look away from the windscreen in order to do that, you can go into this menu to do it instead, and it is a bit safer and you got less chances of crashing. I suppose it kind of mimics the idea that you generally will know where the controls are in the car, so you can do it without looking at them, but you can just do it from a menu in this game instead of actually looking yourself. So the first thing it will then do after that tutorial is put you into a job where you have to go onto your map, select a client, and then go off to that client, pick them up and take them off to where you need to go. The rules of the road in this game exist. You are in Barcelona, so you drive on the right hand side of the road. So for anyone that's from like the UK, you got to get used to driving on the other side of the road, but if you play games like Grand Theft Auto, you'll be used to it by now. Not that you actually need to stick to the correct side of the road in Grand Theft Auto. That was a bad thing to say, really. So basically the rules of the road, like speeding, traffic lights, turn signals and everything like that exist in this game, and you can get fined if you don't follow the rules of the road. You also have a gauge which basically will tell you how happy the customer is on the experience itself when it comes to driving. So going too fast, for example, or breaking the rules of the road will bring their happiness meter down. You also have the ability to make small talk occasionally when the person will speak to you, or they may ask you specific things that they want for their ride to be a little bit more comfortable. This can be anything from turning on the radio to open up the windows, or turning on the air conditioning and making it hotter or colder. You can also actually have parts where they'll speak to you and you have to reply while also trying to concentrate on the road, which can be a little bit frustrating, but once you get used to it, it's not that bad. All of this goes towards the experience of the customer, and basically we'll figure out whether they give you a tip towards the end of it. Unfortunately, there are some one-way streets in this game, which makes it kind of frustrating getting from A to B. Sometimes you'll have a customer that you can pick up that's right behind where you are, and you'll have to go around a massive circle to be able to get to them. It can be tempting to reverse up the road and get to them that way, but you do risk getting a fine, though I have done it a few times. Aside from the normal pick-up and drop-off missions, there are also other missions that will require you to get someone to a location fast. This means that you do have to try to take the fastest route possible, but also you cannot speed or break the law, because that will put their patience down, which will make them want to just get out of the car. There are also police cars on the road, and I do feel like this game has programmed the police cars to make you fail. On several occasions I had police cars in front of me that just stopped. I waited thinking there was traffic, and after a while decided to indicate and move around the police car, just to find that he stopped in the middle of the road for no reason with no cars in front of him. You'll also find that they have got this habit of going very slow when they're in front of you, and occasionally braking for no reason, as if they're brake checking you, trying to make you crash into the back of them. A lot of cars do that in this game, and I think that's one thing that could be improved to make the game better, would be to improve the way other AI drivers drive on the road. Though it is realistic that you do experience people that are indecisive that will move from one lane to another and then back again because they're idiots, generally the way that the AI cars turn corners, they can brake for no reason and suddenly slow down when you're trying to go around smoothly. There are also basically collectibles in the game. There is also a skill tree as well, which I'll get onto in a minute. But the collectibles in the game are basically landmarks and places that you can go past and look at and hold a button to actually log it into the system, which gives you experience. This can be kind of frustrating when you're trying to drive and there's a landmark on the left side, for example, and there's cars in front of you. You have to kind of slow yourself down enough that you can actually look at it to log the landmark, which realistically is not the way you drive an actual car. It's always good to keep your eyes on the road. So as you are driving a car, obviously you have to refuel your car on a regular basis, otherwise you'll run out of fuel. You also have the ability to go into a car wash or go to a garage and get your car washed there to make it clean so that your customers are happier. And this brings us to the garage part of it, which allows you to not only buy new cars, but also customize things about your own car, like the interior and the paint job. There is a good selection of cars in this game as well, all of them with different things, like for example capacity, that allows you to then take more passengers at a time, with the downfall of being in a bigger vehicle. Obviously there are other things when it comes to like the power of the car and how well it controls, but you also have the ability to upgrade the performance of each car that you buy as well, which is kind of a useful thing if you want a bit more out of your vehicle, though upgrading the performance of a car when you have a speed limit is kind of pointless. And then there is the actual management section of this game, which allows you to actually buy a vehicle and then hire a driver in order to assign to that vehicle so they can go around and do fares in a different part of the city while you're also working. Now the one thing that I did discover in this game was that if you rest and you wait 24 hours, the other drivers seem to rest as well. So essentially you'll just get into debt because you're paying their wages and they're not making any money. This is something that was kind of frustrating, but you do have to carry on doing jobs and actually working as a taxi driver for your other drivers to do the same thing. And then we have the skill section. The skill section allows you every time you level up to add skills into a perks tree. These perks can be anything from driving things, like for example giving you more experience points for finding points of interest and monuments and stuff. Proficiency ones that actually allow you to clean your car faster, which means it takes less time in the day to do it. Maintenance that actually makes things like washing your car and refilling your car cheaper. Law obedience that allows you to cancel tickets and pay less for your tickets. And of course company that essentially allows you to just underpay your drivers that you hire, which is kind of questionable. All these perks eventually obviously make the game easier and allow you to earn more money more regularly, and if you're not very careful in the game where you like to crash into things, then obviously it just costs you less for fines and stuff over time. Overall, I actually really enjoyed this game. It's actually a really fun game to play. There's quite a lot to it and there's a large city to drive around as well, so if you enjoy driving, then this was going to be a game that you're going to enjoy. It is not a racing game, it is a taxi simulator game, just remember that. Though if you want to, I suppose you could just go around breaking rules, but it's not going to benefit you, you're just going to lose money. I am also on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so if you haven't hit that subscribe button, I would very much appreciate it if you could. Also hit the like button if you like the video. Now in a minute I'm going to suggest 2 videos that you watch next, because these are actually really good games that you should definitely play and you would be silly to miss out on them. But first I just want to ask you to get down into the comments, let me know what you think of this game and whether it's something you're going to play. As apparently a lot of people that are watching my content are watching on TV, you can't do that, feel free to pick up your phone, go into the comment section and just comment and let me know what you think. As this is a simulator game, then you might like other simulator games, so check out Hotel Business Simulator up here, which is a game that allows you to run your own hotel, and it might be something that you enjoy. And going away from the simulator style games, if you like the idea of top-down roguelike shooters, then check out Ammo and Oxygen up here, because this is a really good fun game. I actually really enjoyed playing it. Other than that, thank you for watching my video. I've been Liking from Green Liking Reviews, and I'll see you in the next one.